Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the GTG News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pretty good weekend. I'm actually in the newsroom by myself this weekend. That wasn't actually supposed to be the plan. I was supposed to be in Florida for MegaCon, and mistakes were made on my part, and I'm not going. But luckily, my plane ticket and my actual ticket for MegaCon didn't go to waste because the intern that we have in the studio has never actually been to MegaCon, and so everything went to her. It didn't go to waste. That at the end of the day is what really matters. So hopefully they have a great time. Let me give you guys a bit of explanation just in case you guys don't live in Florida, or if you guys do live in Florida and you don't know about this. MegaCon is a big it's a big movie / comic book, anime, manga convention that happens every year. It usually happens in May. It usually happens late in May, but this year they did it a bit early. It's usually 4 days from Thursday to through Sunday, and it's a really cool event. You get to see a whole lot of memorabilia. You get to take pictures with some great cosplayers who have done some really amazing stuff. You get to meet some really cool people and talk about a bunch of different stuff. There's great vendors out there. I've blown quite a bit of money out there in the last couple of years that I've gone, and it's all worth it. Especially if you flew out like we did, it's definitely worth it. You know what I'm saying? Florida's always been nice the times that I've gone, whether for business or otherwise, and it's just something that you guys won't regret. Now, if you don't get to actually go to MegaCon that's in Orlando, it also happens again in Tampa. I think it's, I don't know, I've never been to Tampa, the one in Tampa though, but I think it's usually like later on in the year. You can check it out on Twitter and whatnot. You can follow MegaCon on Twitter, and they go over all the details. But it's a really fun event. You usually find YouTubers out there too, especially those who are in the anime or manga communities. It's a great time and whatnot. Won't be able to get to go this year, but that's cool because I get to hang out with you guys this weekend and make videos, and I owe you guys a lot of videos. So there you guys go on that. So and like I said, best of luck to everybody from GTG Network Productions. Hope you guys have a good time and buy me nice stuff. I want nice stuff, by the way, and you guys already know that. I've told all of you that, and especially since Gary and Greg, it's nice that you guys were able to show up for that. I want nice stuff, so make sure you bring me back stuff. I'm not kidding either. I want nice stuff, so don't forget me to bring me back something, please. All right, guys, you guys probably won't see this until Sunday, but no, maybe Saturday. You probably hear it Saturday. It's gonna go up Friday though, but it is what it is. Bring me back nice stuff. Bring me back nice stuff. That's all that matters. Anyway, so there you go with MegaCon. Speaking of which, yesterday's video, because I'm recording this on Friday, so the video went up Thursday. Last 5 minutes of the audio screwed up. Even though one of you guys in the comment section called out rather accurately who it was, who you could say that was responsible. It was really me at the end of the day, because I should have listened to the video before it went up. That's what I'm supposed to do, and so that's my fault. It was a good call though, nonetheless, but that was my fault, and I apologize. Granted though, Phil's last 5 minutes were dead air anyway. The only thing that I regret you guys missing was the outro for Snort Burnell, because that shit's amazing and I love it, and that's why I keep playing it. But what Phil was saying was pretty much dead air. Speaking of which, the condition that we were talking about yesterday, not that pertains to Phil's flat head, but that pertains to his actual hair loss that you see. Someone in the comment section actually pointed that out. I'm sorry I don't have any of this in front of you because I'm solo today and I'm kind of doing this on the fly. That same condition, I should say, is linked to a set of balding, or a sense of balding that comes from stress too. Hence the reason why Phil has the patch on his chin also. So I thought that was an interesting piece that someone had left in the comment section. I'm telling you, the comment section is full of gold. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a couple minutes and you'll find some really great stuff in there. So thank you for that. Speaking of which, as it pertains to G Money, he actually hit me up on Twitter yesterday and was telling me, or maybe it was this morning, because we live in 2 time zones, but he had actually said that as it pertains to Phil's head, where you remember I was talking about how it's flat in the back and whatnot, someone had said that, G Money had said, that Phil actually made a video a while ago talking about when he was a kid, he used to get bullied for the shape of his head. So, womp womp. But either which case, if someone knows where that video's at, send it to me, or what, our G Money. If you end up seeing that video, or if you remember where it's at, you know, point me in that direction, and I'd love to go over it. See what Phil has to say about that. because Phil made it sound like he was Billy Badass in school, but a blockhead is a blockhead either which way. Let's see. Anything else? Any other caveats at all? I don't think so. I think that's all we have for the PSAs. As you guys know, I owe you 6 videos off the rip. One over the Pro Jarrett, the 7 years of slander, and the flapping. I'll probably end up working on those over the weekend. You'll definitely get the Snort Burnell or Mighty D versions of those, obviously soon, and then the more extensive stuff will come later. But what are we here today? I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and whatnot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the situation proper, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell. Dspgaming, oh yeah! Starting back from ground zero, frog emote, frog, and and what is egg meme? Oh snap! That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so starting back at ground zero, as you guys know, this is actually post 7 year slander on Phil's part. So he's riding high right now. He thinks that he is, I wouldn't say untouchable, because that's obviously not a fair statement to make, but he thinks he's in a good position. He's really not. It was short-lived, as most things in the Burnell household or bloodline, and it is what it is. But he feels that because he was able to lay out everything, he thinks he laid out everything to a point that's significant, that now the Detractors don't have any foothold. Now we have to start from ground zero. That we have nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? We've completely lost. We've completely screwed the pooch, if you will. And that's certainly nothing close to the truth. Or nothing's further from the truth, I should say. So that's what Phil thinks about that, which is rather sad. The frog emote is Phil, and I should have called this a while ago because I kind of knew this was already coming. What Phil is going to do, to be honest, is he's going to, all the popular emotes, the standard emotes I should say, that's on Twitch, he's slowly but surely banning those under the pretense of spam. And then he's trying to flip them and make his own. Why? Because one, you're going to be forced to pay for it, and two, he gets some strange gratification if he bans you from his chat for using an emote that you paid for, which he or somebody on his behalf made. Why would you pay $5 to use his frog emote when there's already a frog emote available to you? It just doesn't make too much sense, but Phil can't profit off of that emote. So this way, he can force you to use his, and this is probably something he's going to do here on out. If not, he should. So that's what the situation is with that. And then he doesn't say, he pronounces frog weird. I was watching, I think it was Tevin's stream the other night, or was it last night actually? I think it was when Phil was doing Blackout. Because remember, just in case you guys don't know, Phil is sick, or he was sick, or whatever. I don't know. May is a strange time of the year for him to be getting sick. James the Lesser actually did a video going over that, and people have been talking about it on Twitter. The speculation on that is what it is. If I remember to, I'll link James the Lesser's video in my description. You can check it out, and it's actually a good listen, to be honest, and it's compelling. And the egg emote, that's Phil being given misinformation on what egg gang is, and so on and so forth. It's kind of rather pathetic, to be honest. But let's see if we can make it amusing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for that. So let's go ahead and get into the situation proper, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on GTG Network Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet. At all. That's probably because I'm the only one here and I can cook as much as I want. But now that you guys are here, I actually need to start cooking. So, I guess there's no need to put it off any longer. It's time to watch me work. But before we do that, I have a small music number for Phil. Just hang in there for a minute. I'm gonna play this.
bitches is frogs. All my women is boss. With my wrist with the fog. And we getting it off. Now all my water be Voss. The 5 in the garage. I don't play with them balls. You can say what you want, but don't get my niggas involved.
Now let's play the game.
Don't get my niggas involved. I said, don't.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
But now,
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. My wrist is frogs. I love this shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, Dspgaming. Starting back from ground zero, frog emote, and what is the egg meme? Here we go.
maybe at least those people who constantly shit on me are now kind of eating crow a little bit. Because number one, for the first time in years, people are looking at me in a positive light for owning up to my mistakes. And number two, because I kind of addressed all the bullshit that they've, you know, been spreading for the past 7 years last night and shot it all down.
First off, you didn't shoot down shit. And I say that with the type of aggressiveness because I'm going to be doing that video like in probably another few hours, if not tomorrow. So you didn't shoot down shit. And I'm going to look forward to cutting that down layer by layer, piece by piece. Secondly, no one's looking at you in a positive light. A negative piece of shit went ahead and shitted on a newly shattered other piece of shit. You both are still two mounds of the same piece of shit. Just one's a little fresher than the other, basically. Oh, God, that was an ugly one. You know what I mean? That's basically what happened. You got a little... Now, here's the thing, Phil. If you were looking at positive attention, if you were looking at trying to dispel all this shit, you could have done that years ago. And you didn't. You sitting on your little soapbox, sweating it up, you know what I'm saying, in your little office space, you want to call it that, and trying to say it's not true, you guys are idiots, this, that, and the third, didn't help you. It didn't help you now. You had all this attention given to you and did nothing with it except for give me money. And do this whole 7-year podcast thing that meant not a goddamn thing. To be honest, you lied your whole way through it. Under the pretense that all these people who, that are giving you all this attention aren't going to look at Detractor content and be like, I wonder what they have to say about it. You didn't really think this out at all, Phil. You really didn't. And so that's why you need to be put in your place. As if good men haven't already done it before me. Well, good men and women haven't done it before me. I'm really kind of just I'm going to try to make a luxury breakfast out of nothing. Hence the reason why I have to do it twice. The first time I'm going to hit you is going to be light. I'm going to hit you light the first time, but the second time, I'm going to have receipts. And I'm going to try very, very hard to have a receipt for everything, but I can't. I'm going to tell you that now. But I'm going to have a receipt for most of it. Especially the two categories that I kind of specialize in. Those are the ones that I'm kind of really pissed off about. Because everything, well, I'm not really pissed off, but those are the two things I'm aggressive about. Some of the other stuff is light. It's whatever. I'll still try to, if I can produce receipts, I will. But there's two particulars in your little 7-year slander shit that I'm planning on going at your neck for. Now, the question is, Phil, can you guess what two of those are? Because I'm not telling. DSP News.
So in that regard, you know, they really at this point are like, they're starting back from ground zero. You know what I mean? Like, all right, now we gotta start from scratch to try to take down Phil again. And, you know, they'll do whatever they want. I don't really care. As you guys know, I don't dwell on that shit. But, no, you know, I honestly don't think.
I also like that caveat that you put in there, Phil, that you didn't care what people do with your footage from now on, and we all have your permission. I made sure I clipped that. And I made sure I clipped that because from now on, that is going to be my licensing fee. Just wanted to let you know that. Just saying. So it's important. That's the first thing. Secondly, ground zero. I'm looking at going back into your past and digging all that up. And I'm not too far off from doing it. The only question is, what channel will I put it on?
That we're going to be seeing much in growth because of this. I think this is more of people love hilarity on the internet and people love drama.
I love drama.
That drama shit.
I love it. I crave the drama.
But I'm not a drama guy. If I were a drama guy and I made a bunch of videos about everything going on right now, right? If I make a bunch of drama videos about all this stuff, then maybe my drama videos would have exploded and I would have got extra attention because of the drama. But I'm not. I do gameplay streams,
Really? Where's the gameplay? I feel like the majority of your streams now are just asking for money and you falling asleep on your couch. It's not very entertaining. Hence the reason why you gained what, Phil? You said you gained about 1,000 people on your Twitter. How many of those people have unfollowed? You gained what, 200-300 people on Dspgaming? How many of them unsubbed? I don't know, Phil. I mean, for someone who talks as much shit as you do, you should be a drama channel, to be honest. You should be a drama channel. You really should. And you should address the detractors. You should Ooh! Now I have ideas for you. So, let me help you out. Because I do enough of that already, so now I'm going to do it on purpose. Here's the thing, Phil. You personally should do an IRL stream twice a week. And then 3 times a week for that bullshit that you want to call gameplay. It's whatever you want to call that shit. You should do 2 IRL streams twice a week, which is really just you sitting on your dumb ass and fucking talking and sweating and just, spewing shit. Now, this is what you should do. For one of those streams, you should take the highest viewed Detractor video of that week, and you should go through it. And you should go ahead and, air quotes, dispel everything that's wrong with it, that they say, that's taken out of context, so on and so forth. You'd bring a whole lot more attention to yourself if you did it. You'd make a whole lot of money. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. You would get some support from somebody if you went ahead and did it. Like, I'm saying? The streams might bring you a little bit of cash instead of the $30 that you're making each stream, and then you bitch about it on the next stream on how contributions were low. If you went ahead and actually addressed some of the Detractor videos, it might be a good idea. Wouldn't hurt. I mean, either way, the Detractors are going to win whatever. The Detractors will win no matter what. But you go ahead and bring a little bit of attention up there. You actually can go up against your namesayers and actually retort some of the things that they say. Now, see, you're not going to do that for a couple of reasons. Because, one, it's very hard for a man to look at his own lie and try to dispute that. And when I say that, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me for just a second. It's easy for Phil to go to Dragon DSP Archives, or Dragon Killer, but DSP Archives, and read off that list and try to dispel all that, which he did a horrible job of. And at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, DSP Archives has Tonka Saw's old belt. He is literally he's literally infinity times whatever and whatnot against Phil. Phil can never win. At all. Like, as far as I'm concerned, DSP Archives is permanently stamped on Phil's forehead. Because his forehead's big enough to actually hold all of that. Forever. Forever. Forever! And here's the thing. And someone did this in a tweet. I don't remember the person who did the tweet, and I'm going to kind of just rearrange it. But if you think about every detractor, every hater, every troll, every former fan of Phil who's ever gone at his neck, think about all the years people have been detracting against Phil. Think about all the L's that these people have given Phil. And it's DSP Archives who ends up actually giving him the death blow. Because Phil sat there and lied about everything that he said blatantly, knowing that it was a lie. Now, here's the thing. If Phil was to address a Detractor video, it's gonna be a little bit harder. It's gonna be a little bit harder for Phil to watch that video and say that's a lie, when his own words are being used against him. And he can say all the bullshit he wants about shit's being taken out of context, this, that, and the third, oh, yada, yada, yada. Because when he said that, oh, when the Detractors use my words against me, I'm not saying that they add anything to it. It is my words. You fucked yourself. You royally screwed yourself when you said that. Because now you've already acknowledged that what's being used against you is your own words. Without any, without being taken out of context. It's what you said. You're saying that the people who go over that content are the ones who take you out of context. Not the actual creator using your own words with the purpose of taking out of context. That's how you've lost, Phil. I don't know how you didn't figure that out, but it is what it is. But you should do that once a week. Address the top 3 videos, the top 3 Detractor videos that have the most views that week, and go ahead and do that. You're going to bring in money, to be honest, and you're going to bring in support and whatnot. It's not that bad of a look. And since you don't mind giving Tevin so much, Tevin or Mighty D, who else did you give credit to recently? You gave credit to somebody else besides DSP Archives. I guess those 3 for right now. Since you don't mind giving Detractor shine, how's this going to hurt? And you can actually profit off of what is your content that they're taking away from you. You could be pulling a Bad Bunny right now. I don't know, Scooby. I think it's a good idea. Is he going to do it? No, he's a coward. But it wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Sure.
And I don't really address the drama that much, if at all, most of the time. I'm more about just hanging out with you guys and having fun playing games. So, again, if I were a drama YouTuber and I was putting out a video about the whole situation, the video probably would have went viral and made me a ton of money and...
No.
You know,
now, here's another thing. Let's talk about that for a minute. What's this whole thing about going viral, Phil? Do you know what even viral even means? It's like when you don't take a bath for a couple of days, Phil, and your grease literally spreads around the whole house. And then, sadly, poor Cat has to spend her 2 days off trying to clean it all up. Kind of like how Panda did it before. Kind of like how your mother did it before, both of them. That's what it means to go viral. Okay, now back in your day, Phil, viral was like 1 million views. Maybe even 5 million views. That don't mean shit now. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean jack shit now from a YouTube standpoint. If viral now is like 25 million views in 2 days, which happens for videos that go viral. So, let's leave that alone. You don't know what it means, so let it go. Now, your tweets that you like to keep refreshing on Twitter, those 2 that you have that you said that went viral, that's a normal day for most people. To be honest, it's just like MLB The Show. You had 2 back-to-back home runs. Good for you. And just as quick as they happen is just as quickly as they were forgotten. What's your point? You see what I'm saying, Phil? Like, you got to understand the whole point of something going viral is it's something that blows up quickly and then it kind of simmers down and then it fades. As is life. Just something to think about, kiddo. DSP News.
But it's not what I'm about. You know, the tweets that I put out are what they are. I'm glad people enjoyed them, and I'm glad that at least some people are seeing me in a positive light. But being that those tweets aren't what I do for a living, I don't necessarily think it's going to translate into anything too positive for me. No one's looking to have me on a podcast. No one's looking to check out my gameplay content because I made
Fuck you. Fuck you for saying that. Because the Drunken Peasants tried to get you on that podcast. I'm going to do that video too. I'm going to do that video right after this because now you're going to piss me off. They asked you to come on that podcast. And for whatever reason, they believed that you were worth saving. But when I go over that video, I'm going to prove why they were wrong. Well, they already know that they're wrong, but I'm going to definitely drive the point home on why they were wrong. Why you were not worth saving. Fuck you. You had a perfect chance to go on a podcast and have someone try to paint you into a positive light before the situation ever blew out. But now all of a sudden Phil thinks he's special. And he wants someone to shave the piggy hair on his back. And all of a sudden wants people to cater to him. And now he feels like he should be on a podcast or something. For fucking what? Seriously. Maybe if those tweets had, I don't know, 50,000 likes, maybe if you had 20 or 30,000 retweets, maybe H3H3 would do so. Maybe. And I don't even know if that's worth a damn anymore. Just something to think about.
You know what I mean? I would like to let you all know that a new emote that you have all highly requested is currently being worked on. Alright? You may say, gee, what is the emote? Well, it is my own custom frahg emote.
That's basically what it looked like. Imagine Phil's head. Imagine Phil, green, because his head is poorly shaped, and theoretically, if this was a cartoon or an anime, it'd be poorly drawn. And it has a shitty goatee on it, which looks just like his. So Phil, basically green. That's what it looks like. It's the most terrible thing ever.
What? Anything for this, right?
It is going to replace some of the other emotes that no one uses, like, you know, the multiple Santa Claus emotes that we have for no reason. I'll probably get rid of one of those. And, you know, there are a few other emotes that are kind of seasonal or outdated at this point that I'll probably be replacing, okay? Now, FYI, guys, there actually are other emotes in the works. For example, you guys have asked for a T-pose emote for a while, and eventually I may get one. So I'm going to see, and, you know, if I do that emote, alright, then more than likely, I will end up working on having that be a tier 2 or tier 3 sub emote to incentivize people to try to do the higher level.
Now, think about this for a second, ladies and gentlemen. We are bleeding emotes. We are bleeding emotes at this point. This is how desperate he is to get this money before this kid shows up. Is we have to bleed emotes. Something that he used to say he never gave a fuck about. Emotes that people used to put up on his forums for God knows what reason. And he would just pass over them and act like they were never even there. Now all of a sudden he wants to do it. Off Detractor memes. This is just like him trying to profit off This Is How You Don't Plays 3 or 4 years too goddamn late. This is what he decides to go with. This is part of the business plan. This is the marketing scheme. Phil. Oh, Phil, I can't wait till that prince or princess shows up in like late September, or well, sorry, late October, early November. You better pray to God that she ain't pregnant. You better pray she don't. Oh God, I've got a whole fun house of stuff waiting for you when that happens. Oh boy, oh boy. And luckily for you, I'm gonna spare luckily for you, Phil. And let me put this caveat out there now, because I had said that Cat is off limits for the time being. That's a personal choice. Slightly. That's a personal choice. If Cat is pregnant, if she is actually pregnant, then she's off limits. She's off limits. I firmly believe in the context of no women, no children. And Cat hasn't really put herself out there like that. So taking a jab at her is one thing, and I've done quite a bit of that. If this woman is pregnant, though, she gets a pass from me. She goes right on by, and so does that child. Because sadly, life is going to hit that kid real hard in the face when the time comes. I don't wish anything upon that, obviously. But given what his father is and who his father is, or her father is, life is already going to be bad enough. So that's my thought process on that. And in the strange caveat that she does actually watch Detractor content, I would rather not. Even if she doesn't watch my content, I would rather not have that stress on her. And that's just out of the bare minimum of respect that I have for her, to be honest. Because it's not like she's done anything to me and whatnot. And that's probably the only concession I will bestow on Phil. Because it truly is a blessing. Because if not, then, and, you know, the gloves come off. You know what I'm saying? He might think he might be fucking up Tevin's day. I'll fuck up his month. So, you know, let's not get it twisted. But that's my thought process behind it. If she's really pregnant, she don't need no additional stress, man. At least, you know what I'm saying? At least that's the way I feel.
Subs. Let's see. The Egg Gangster, which, by the way, I'm well aware that that's a stupid Detractor meme. But he cheered. Let's see what he said here. Here we go. He actually, oh my god, talk about being self-aware. Listen to this cheer. So his name is a Detractor meme, Egg Gangster, okay? Now listen to his cheer. This is interesting. I'm happy you went on the offensive against the trolls. You shouldn't always have to defend yourself. Have you ever considered letting trolls do cheers so you can own them? They'd pay a lot for your attention. That's what they want. Well, isn't that exactly what they do? They actually cheer, which is technically, you know, contributing in order to try to get seen on the stream. But then sometimes I don't read them out because, as I said, I don't want to totally derail my stream. Okay, I don't want the entirety of the stream to become...
Okay, let me cut in. So, sadly, he missed that entire point. He missed that entire point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't stream, as you guys know. So, the concept of what the chat really means is kind of, I wouldn't say it's oblivious to me, I guess, at the time being, because my main point, if I was to stream, is to get my point across. And then I'd rather hit chat up later. Unless, you know what I'm saying, unless something really stands out to me in the chat. Outside of that, I'm not there to completely focus on the chat. You know what I mean? That's just not my, at least the way that I'm looking at now, that's not my objective. But then again, as I said, I don't stream yet. So there you go on this. But let's say, for example, for argument's sake, that I have this group of detractors that come over there from Phil's area or from wherever, and they're like, you know what, GTG ain't shit, this, that, and the third. I'm going to spam him with $5 or $10 things or whatever. I'm going to let it happen. Because why not? On the worst end of it, they charge it back. On the best end of, I guess on the best end of it, I walk away with a shitload of cash. And if I decide to acknowledge a couple of them, which I probably will, then I'm going to do it. And then we have a laugh for everybody that's on stream and that's in the chat. It kind of works out. See, Phil can't do that, though, because he's definitely ignorant. But his arrogance, which means nothing, by the way, holds priority. And that's really sad. For someone who cries poor and has a resource that he can abuse at his whim and won't do it because he's scared of what they're going to say and how other people are going to perceive it. Like that means a damn. And the thing is if you're showing that much fear to what's being said in your chat, it must be, at least some of it must be true. Because if not, why are you so scared of it? Now, Phil says he ignores it, but then his mods who have active and standing orders, sorry about that, to take those same comments down. You know what I mean? To smack down those cheers. How's any money going to be made that way? I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only reason why he's at 70,000 followers on Twitch in the first place. Because, as I said before, if not a third, 2/3 of them are probably all dead accounts anyway. It's a resource that he could literally use at any given time. He could easily squeeze $100 out of that a stream, but he won't do it because he's scared. He's scared that people are going to actually see what he really is, and the way he reacts to those cheers, to those situations, proves everything. This isn't hard to figure out. And yet again, as Snort Burnell is saying on screen, he's boring. He's boring as shit unless he's talking about drama. And Phil knows that. He knows it. He doesn't, when everything has to be positive and all this bullshit, that's boring. Or it's boring for Phil. Because Phil doesn't have any insight on anything. He doesn't know shit. The only thing he can do is regurgitate to you what he sees on Twitter. That's no different than what Monday Matt regurgitates from whatever article he reads. That's no different than what Review Tech USA reads from whatever tech journal or what he heard from any other tech YouTuber. And even then, at least, I'm going to be generous with this, at least 1.5 out of those 3 at least presented somewhat entertaining, I suppose. I don't know. People still watch Monday Matt, so there must be something entertaining about it. It is what it is. Phil can't do that. He literally could be he could literally be pulling an El Presador and having people dance for him, and he makes the money off of it, and he won't do it. 1, because he's not smart, and 2, he's like glass. He's too fragile. He's Twinkie filling soft. That's the reason why he has gout. I don't know. Dspnews.
A situation where it's all addressing drama. Like I said, every once in a while, fine. And especially if there's something that I need to address, because there's some new insult, or new slander, or new misconception, or whatever, alright? You know, I would say, oh, well, you know, address it the whole stream. But I'm not going to. You know, I want to be positively focused. I want to be someone who's playing games, having fun with games.
Okay, wait a second. So when it's new drama, you'll chase after it, but you don't want to do it every stream. Despite the fact that Tevin lives rent-free in your head. And DSP Archives owns the property. That's what this comes down to. That's what this comes down to. And keep in mind, the attention that Phil was going to get was fleeting anyway. What Phil wanted, and this is something I've said before, is he wants credibility. But this is the thing. Boogie and whoever else that gave him props or whatever that shit was, that don't mean nothing. What Phil wants is that appeal and that credibility from the gaming community, which is what Jared just, Pro Jared just fell out of. He essentially try to basically cuck Jared out of his position. That's basically what he tried to do. And it didn't work because no one in gaming gave a fuck. Not about Darkside Phil. Like, you don't let 7 years of slander go on and then try to wipe it away in 2 tweets. And a video that's blatantly a lie. It just doesn't work that way. It's lazy. It's extremely lazy. And Darkside Phil, he's just not smart enough to realize that. And the thing is because the guy has no experience in PR whatsoever. Or he's not around people who have any real common sense. He doesn't know how to conduct himself. Hence the reason why he acts the way he does. Something that was also pointed out is how he has the new, the kind of like the new cartoon icon on Twitter and on his YouTube and on Twitch. And people were like, well, why are you doing that? And he was like, oh, well, you know, I just want to do something fresh, just something new. But isn't that the same shit you used to clown Ninja for? Having the cartoon shit for the kiddies? But now you're doing it too. But doesn't that not make you a whore? How does that make you any different than anybody else who uses cartoon stuff to do that? I mean, Phil, you're already losing your hair. Are you planning on dyeing it a different color now? You see what I'm saying? This is what he's starting to go down to. I'm not saying he's going to dye his hair. He probably won't. Actually, I hope he doesn't, to be honest with you. I mean, he just needs to keep re-dyeing it black. Not to say that I think he dyes his hair, but he might. We'll have to wait and see. But don't dye it a different color. Definitely don't do that. You already look like a clown. You don't need to go ahead and cement that. But he's slowly but surely doing the exact same stuff that he used to shit on other people for. As is Phil's career. It's not changing. He's not doing anything. Which makes him the king of hypocrisy. Which makes him a fucking hypocrite. But this is how desperate he is. And he'll only make changes in the smallest way possible in the hopes that it'll pay off. And then when it fails, what does Phil do? He turns back and blames the detractors. He can't do that no more. He's almost too scared to call out Tevin for real, despite what he did recently. But he really doesn't want to even bring him up, even though one of his top contributors right now is Tevin. Imagine that shit. But he's running out of options. And he's at the most desperate point that I think I've seen Phil, at least in the time I've done content on him. So there has to be something big on the horizon that's causing all of this. What it is, I have some theories, but I don't really know. But either which way, is Phil Burnell willing to kill off Darkside Phil to save himself? That's what the question is now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are kind of, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but this is starting to look like a war of attrition. DSP News.
Sharing those honest experiences with all of you and kind of interacting with you and having a chill, fun stream. And yeah, every once in a while, alright, if I need to address some kind of, a negative meme or something, I will. But not that that's the entirety, the end-all, be-all of who I am. And I hate to say it, with the stuff that happened this week on the internet with my tweets that went viral or whatever, that's kind of what it is that I got like over 2,000 new Twitter followers, hundreds of new subs on YouTube, but I think what's happening is people are realizing, oh, Phil's not just a drama guy. Look, he really didn't make many or any follow-up tweets after the initial ones. He's just kind of doing business as usual, which is respectable, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for the drama, and he didn't really do any more drama, so it's kind of boring now. Yeah, well, too bad, I'm not a drama.
Begging for money on a regular basis is respectable, but you did say that's what business as usual is, and that is what your business is. Are you sure, Phil, that they weren't turned off when they came and watched some of your content and realized it's me bitching and complaining about my life, it's me bitching and complaining about the detractors, and it's you guys please give me money because I really need your help right now because I'm about to get overdrafted? Are you sure that's not what turned them away? And instead of the drama? Maybe you provide too much drama. Maybe it's just too salty. Maybe they're just too much shit to sift through. Just saying. DSP News.
God, I'm not a guy to focus in on that shit. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But every once in a while, yes, I would address it if I need to, but I'm not going to do that regularly. Okay, I'm just not going to.
You're such a mean guy.
Hey, Gangster Shit again. He said, I didn't know it was a detractor meme, bro. It's from Farm Simulator. Yeah, but the reason that you're in here using it is because one of my biggest detractors.
Oh shit. Hello.
Tevin, hello.
Collapse detected. Advise relocation to indicated safe zone.
That sounded like a complete idiot. I was just saying, what a moron.
Uses it on a regular basis. That's why you're using it. I'm not stupid. Like I said, I'm not born yesterday. Even though I don't watch the negative crap about me, I'm well aware of it. People tell me about it. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm ignorant to a lot of it, alright? Just being honest. During the Christmas season, someone made me an overlay for my streams that he wanted me to use during the Christmas season. So I previewed it on a stream before I ever used it. And then immediately someone emailed me and said, Phil, are you aware that, like, literally everything in this overlay is, like, a love letter to one of your detractors? It has, like, 10 references to memes from his stream. Okay? And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, I'm not going to use it. Obviously. You know? And I didn't as a result of that person who told me that. So even though I don't watch it and I'm out of the loop, doesn't mean that I don't know what exists out there. You know, I'm not stupid.
Okay, let's debunk this right now. That's a lie, first off, about the preview thing and whatnot. He used that for a while. Now, was it completely memed up? Sure it was. I can't remember who did it. I think that was Third Eye to Third who actually did all that. Which is, it's really well made. That overlay is godlike. I think it was Third Eye. But Phil used that for a while. Actually, Phil bigged up that for a long ass time. You know what I mean? The first day he displayed it, he was proud as shit of it. And I mean display. I don't mean, you know, he previewed it. That's like this whole little thing he's talking about now where, oh, it was a Project 7 trailer, not the actual reboot of Project 7. How the fuck do you reboot a trailer? Anyway. But I say I'm not in Conway, South Carolina right now. I'm not over there trying to repossess Wings' house. Anyway, you even though he doesn't live in a trailer, he lives in like a modified home or some shit. Anyway, so that's the first problem there. He actually used that thing for a while. Now, at first, people caught on to some of the memes, and people may have even said something, but Phil didn't want to say anything about it because it was brand new. People seemed to like it, though Phil didn't understand why, because what does Phil really understand about anything? And he went along with it. The problem is, I think it was, like I said, I think it was Third Eye. But there were people, the mods were starting to get on his nerves. There were people in the chat that were getting on his nerves, and it was starting to build up. And then, allegedly, behind the scenes, Phil questioned Third Eye on it. He said it wasn't yada, yada, yada. They let it slide. And then then somebody else over there in that Gestapo chat ended up doing some more groundwork, ended up could prove it that, you know, it was all memes and shit, and it was all basically dog whistling. And that's when he ended up getting expelled. That's how the story went. But he didn't preview it. He used that layout for a little while. You know what I mean? I can't tell you exactly how long. I wouldn't say it was a month. It might have been. But he used it for a hot-ass minute. Because I remember, because I was watching Tevin stream, when he ended up taking it down and bitching and complaining about it. And so on and so forth. And you could tell he was kind of embarrassed about it. But if you go back and look at, what video is it? Because I think Tevin went over that recently. Tevin went over a video where if you look at some of Phil's layouts and stuff like that on his Twitch, there were a bunch of memes in that too. Like there was like pictures of Tevin's face and Leanna and some other people that were like woven into the background, shit like that. So that's been going on for a very, very long time. That's nothing new. So don't let this preview thing kind of distract you from what the real situation is. There are literally 24-hour snort ops on Phil at all given times, and he has no clue of it. The one thing he catches doesn't mean a goddamn thing when 10 other things go on. Let me give you another example. Like on the border, right? Between the U.S. and Mexico. You know how when they seize a truck or some shit that ends up having a bunch of blow in it or has a bunch of weed or whatever the case may be? Okay, they caught that one truck. How many trucks actually made it past to allow, you know, at the sacrifice of that one truck? If any of you guys have followed the cartels in any type of way, shape, or form, I did, because I was actually following what's his name? Chapo Guzman case. Dude, they purposely sent out trucks to get caught so they could let like 20 of them go by. So basically the cartels were willing to let $15 million worth of product fall into federal hands so they feel better about themselves to let $500 million get through. It's the price of doing business, ladies and gentlemen. Just as an example. DSP News.
People are gonna tell me, you know, just be honest here. Like, I don't know why people think they can fool me. Like I don't know this stuff. I'm gonna know. I'm gonna be in the know, even if initially I'm not. Like, the whole frog thing, I still don't get it. And no one's really been able to explain it to me. I guess it was something that just happened spontaneously. But it doesn't mean that I'm not eventually gonna understand it, or someone's not gonna tell me, you know? So anyway, what do you mean it was there for a while? It was on for, like, a minute of a pre-stream. I was previewing it on a pre-stream, and people immediately recognized a bunch of the memes and told me. It wasn't on there for a while. What the hell are you talking about? People, see what I mean? So, literally what happened was I put it on during a pre-stream for, like, a minute, and then I went back to my pre-stream artwork, and now people are like, oh, no, you were using it for a while. Like, no, I used it for a minute during a pre-stream. It wasn't even gameplay. See the misconceptions people get because people just talk out of their asses? But anyway, you know, I don't mind memes, like I said.
Be like, oh, I'm a crotchety old 36-year-old streamer, and I don't like the memes, so I banned them from my chat.
But if you're going to make it into something constantly negative, then I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not going to put up with it. So, you know, Egg Gangster actually hasn't done anything, like, negative in the stream chat yet. So I don't mind his name being a meme from a detractor. I really don't care. But at the same time, if he were to start doing cheers that were...
Wait a second. Isn't there a guy in your chat called T-Pose Counter? Actually, isn't there a couple? Isn't King of Hypocrisy still around? Holy shit! There are a bunch of meme names in your chat, and you've banned people over that too. Don't think that Phil hasn't. He's banned people over some of those names. I mean, he just can't get rid of King of Hypocrisy. King of Hypocrisy has a luxury suite right next to Tevin's and Phil's head. That's why he can't get rid of him. And then like. Jake Likes Cats is like literally down the hall. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really break it down and look at all the people that shit on Phil on a regular basis and Phil can't get rid of, literally that top story of that luxury high rise is it's almost completely occupied. It really is. It's fucking amazing. I'm just waiting for LSB and James the Lesser to move in on their suites, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's literally occupied. I mean, shit, even SOK still has their suite up there. You know what I mean? So, no one's going anywhere. It's so sad. So sad.
Then then that's it. He's gonna get the boot. See? Yeah, I don't even understand what the Egg Gang... I guess, from what I'm gonna understand, the Egg Gang meme came from a certain streamer who restreams my stuff and makes fun of me constantly, who I guess started making fun of people on Twitter who had new accounts, and this is back when I guess the new account was an egg. So he started calling them the Egg Gang or something like that, and so he would always call them that or something. I don't know, that's what I was told. And so it became a meme on his streams, so then people started doing it and other stuff, like coming to my streams and talking about it and stuff, okay? So I don't know if that's actually what it is or not, but that's what I was told. So, and then again, that was something...
So you believe everything that you're told? That doesn't even remotely sound like how Egg Gang started, but... Alright, I'm just gonna let him live with his blissful ignorance, I guess. I don't know what to say to that. That doesn't even... It sounds like something he made up himself, to be honest. I don't see someone actually explaining that to him who really is familiar with how Tevin streams work. Even if you don't know the full lore, it doesn't sound like that. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Oh boy.
That was put into that stupid overlay for Christmas. It was one of the memes that was interjected into there, the eggs or whatever. So... Alright, Vote Democrat just did a 222-bit cheer. He says, I know this isn't my place. Is it possible King Kozatov would ever get another chance? King Kozatov has had more than enough chances. And the bottom line is the only reason he was even let back into the chat is because a mod who is no longer a mod begged for it. Like, literally. Appealed to me saying, oh, I will make sure that this guy, from now on, you know, abides by the rules and doesn't annoy or harass people. And then that person's not a mod anymore, and he starts acting up again. And I'm like, that's it. You know, I'm not even gonna fucking bother with this shit. It's just not worth it.
You know what that actually kind of reminds me of, right? Because I like history. So you remember back, I guess this was kind of an early Rome, but it kind of trickled on downwards, where you had these legions who weren't actually loyal to Rome, especially if most of them weren't actually Romans at the time. They were actually loyal to their commanders, to the generals, and whatnot. And by proxy, the generals would be loyal to Rome. It's kind of like that, where you have these groups of people in Phil's fan base, if you will, that are loyal to mods and whatnot, and not to Phil himself. So Phil can only really control the chat or people in the fan base through the mods. The mods have shaky allegiances at best, and they like the few mods, excuse me, who make sure that King of Hypocrisy doesn't get knocked out, that Jake likes cats, how he doesn't get knocked out. The loyalty is back and forth. Excuse me. The loyalty is back and forth. It flows both ways. But at the end of the day, almost none of them are actually loyal to Phil. That's amazing if you think about it. Imagine that your mods get more respect than you do. And you don't even have the full respect or even confidence of those mods. Wow. And I mean, that kind of expressed the point with that whole mod revolt that he had recently. That kind of proved it, to be honest. But it was like Rome for a little while, to be honest. And if you think about it, hence the reason why that whole Eyes of March thing, it's too bad that fell apart. But it's kind of like that. Like, you could think of Phil's run like, and this is a gross overstatement because obviously Phil wasn't nearly as successful, if you would even consider him successful. It was like Rome for a while. You know, he had a good run. Maybe. It could have expanded if changes were made and they adjusted, but they didn't. And so it all fell apart. It's kind of, I guess you could say it's tragic in some ways. I just find it amusing. DSP News.
Like toxic! More toxic, more toxic.
Toxic.
It's really not worth it at this point. So many people are amazed that this guy was even let back into the chat to begin with the shit that he's done. And I just got so fed up. Earlier this week, I'm like, enough is enough. I'm just not doing this anymore. I'm not playing games with fucking people anymore. You know? When you are either violating the rules or just outright trying to be fucking annoying, you're gonna get modded. And it's just gonna happen, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, and no more 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th fucking chances. I think that was one of the major problems we had in here with previous mod ship, was we had these people who would have, oh, he's my buddy, so I let him get away with stuff over and over. Oh, no, he finally got modded by another mod. Well, let's beg to try to get him back in. We're not doing that. You know what that is? That's called the Good Old Boys Club.
A $5 sub club. Oh, I gotta take a sip.
That's called, oh, I have a bunch of friends who are these inclusive bunch of friends who all get preferential treatment, and we feel like this is our private clubhouse where we hang out every fucking day. And that's not what I want my streams to be about. And I've said this.
He said that same thing. I think he said that same thing in 2017 and last year. He said that exact same thing about how he didn't want that whole good old boys type of situation going on because people were feeling like they were being excluded from conversations. I think I did a video on that, actually, if I remember correctly. That's just something that's going to happen either which way because Phil can't regulate his chat. At the end of the day, the reason why a lot of those good old boy clubs, if you will, Dixie Mafia, if you want to, I'll call it that for right now. Actually, I'll call it the Piggy Mafia. Yeah, we'll do that. The reason why the Piggy Mafia even exists, okay, the Snort Gestapo, is because they all gave money. They all contributed. They all bought their way into power, the same way Swaggins did. And so then they were able to protect the people they protect. Think about the people, think about the mods or the people of influence who actually, and think about the subs that they gift to other people. And because those people are subbed, even though Phil isn't about, it has no contentions or any problems with banning somebody who is subbed to him, there are certain people that he won't touch. And the reason why is because they're protected. And they're protected in a way that even Phil knows, okay, I don't want to piss this person off because they give me money. You know what I mean? Or people on their behalf give him money. So why mess up a good thing? And Phil will grit his teeth and bear it. In the same way, like how Phil was a good hoe and he laid on his back while Tut was able to do what he wanted. Same concept. Tut literally had the run of the mill, and Swaggins was pissed off because Swaggin bought himself into, he paid for himself into position, and he was mad that this usurper, if you will, came in and literally had the run of the castle, had the run of the kingdom. The king, DSP, and I say that term loosely, would sit there and pander off being like, hey, I'm going to play Street Fighter V tonight because I know King Tut likes it. I hope he'll show up. Jesus Christ, Phil, why don't you go ahead and put some lipstick on and take one of Cat's 90s if you can fit in it. That's pretty much what you did anyway. You laid yourself out hoping that Tut would show up with his money. And people got turned away from it, but a very small group of people realized, well, that's power, and we can use that to our benefit. I'm sure, though I don't remember, only because I wasn't watching him that close at that time. I'm sure Brightside Viking had people that he protected too, and he was fiercely loyal to you. Fiercely loyal. So, I mean, it's a situation that he's cultivated. You reap what you sow. And that's why you're at where you're at. And every once in a while, like I said, I think he said it last year, 2018, and I'm pretty sure he said it in 2017, that he was going to try to clean that shit up. You're not going to clean shit. Just like how you don't clean your house, Phil. You have to have a woman do it, or you have to wait until it's really, really, really dirty to do it yourself. You don't have any incentive to do it. It's easier for you just to sit there and take it.
Numerous times over the years, I said that is not what I want my streams to become, yet it happens over and over with certain mods who don't fucking get it. Well, those mods are now gone, so now we can get back to fucking having a fun stream that's a chill place where you can hang out with me and not have to worry about being bullied or being talked down to or having a group of guys making fun of you because, oh, you're not one of the in crowd, right? I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. I'm just not.
All I can taste is the saltiness.
You know, it's not what it's supposed to be about. And it never was supposed to be about that at all. It was supposed to be you come and chill.
So that right there is basically the indication that you didn't have any control. You knew what was going on and you let it happen anyway. If it never was supposed to be that, and that's what it's been up till even this point, you knew it was going on and you did nothing about it. It's kind of your own fault. You're sitting there saying that, oh, the rules are established, you need to follow the rules. But how do you regulate the people that you've already given power to? Let me reword that. How do you go ahead and regulate the very people who paid to get themselves into positions of power? And what would make you think, if you paid to get yourself into a position, that you're not going to, and this is air quotes now, you're not going to abuse it? You paid for this power, you should be able to exercise it the way you want. And that's not to serve Darkside Phil. It's to amuse yourself while you're sitting there enduring Phil's fucking boring ass streams. You need something to keep yourself entertained. I don't understand why Phil doesn't get this. Modship has almost always been up for sale, at least in some way, shape, or form. And to be honest, I don't think Tut was ever a mod, but he certainly could have paid to get it. And I think that's what Swaggins was scared about towards the end. Swaggins was scared that he was going to get dethroned by Tut. Because if Tut became a mod, Tut has priority. And Swaggins knew it. And Alex Seidella knew it. Because I don't see another reason why those two would team up to try to get him out of there. Just my opinion, of course. DSP News?
You have fun no matter who you are, and you feel like this is a safe place where you can hang out and interact with me and watch some fun gameplay and watch my reactions to the gameplay. Now, oh, I gotta come to deal with these 12 people who are such close buds, and, you know, they all get away with they abuse the rules, they break the rules, but it's okay because they're mods, and or they're friends with mods. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm just not doing it anymore. Okay? And that, you know, quite frankly, you know, I think that right now, makes sense, the way that it's working, because we don't really have mods giving preferential treatment anymore. And I'm not going to have people constantly appealing for unbans for people who have violated the rules. It's just not going to happen anymore, alright? So, get used to it, because the way the chat is now is much better.
No, this is not Penne the Bunny. This would be Penny the Bunny. It could be Penny the Bunny, this new mascot that I've got here. So maybe Penny the Bunny it could be? I said not Penne, Penny. And no, not spelled like Penne. It would be P-E-N-N-Y. Not P-E-N-N-E. Not Penne. From someone, their name is Cooking with the King Liker. So someone who actually likes cooking with the king, I guess. And they said, it's hard to earn money when you take time to stop making money. Oh, he's talking about my trip to Connecticut. I gotcha. Which, by the way, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but it's funny because, in the last month already, one of my parents is not feeling well. Yeah, I am concretely feeling the effects of not working that week. You're right. And it sucks that now it's going to take a while to get back on my feet financially because of it, but sometimes you got to do those choices, right? Save the pig! What the heck? A pig with a party hat. Hello, Mr. Piggy. Piggy.
Okay, while he's trotting around there, I don't even know why that's still even a point of conversation. You said that if you had to lose your house, you were willing to lose your house, but you really wanted to see your parents. Oh, that's right. That was part of the lie. And in actuality, your parents were fine, and they wanted to meet Kat, and they knew how much you loved her, and that's why they wanted to pay for you to get married. I'm sorry, Phil. You're right. I'm still living in the past. My bad. That's when Mommy and Daddy were sick and dying, and that's when it was so important to go and see them. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Sorry.
Save the pig, the game. The whole game you're trying to save the pig's life. Help! Let's go ahead and cheer. Let's go ahead and cheer. Let's go ahead and give credit for cheers is what I meant to say. Cheer with a bigger amount and make them bigger so that way they're more significant, you know. Star Beast just hit me $5 and says, hand over those beautiful titties. Oh my god. Silver-tongued talker. Cheered. Big Roach cheered. Save the pig the game. Did 100-bit cheers. Now, are you the guy cheers said you're the guy and I'm watching your Twitch? Okay then. Well, I did nothing wrong. Cheered. Well, Mr. Piggy cheered. Alright, Ziggy Piggy cheered and says, I'm just going to ban. Ziggy Piggy cheered. Save the pig the game. I've never seen this guy before. And he did a 500-bit cheer. So thank you very much for the cheer.
Wasn't there somebody called Save the House HD in his chat for a while? I don't know. He always had a bunch of troll names. The names are great though. The names are godlike. For real, for real.
Yeah, it's a great way to get a question answered quickly. Alright, it's a cool thing. It's a cool interactive thing. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Alright, there we go. Now, I know last time this happened, you guys didn't actually hear the last 5 minutes. Hopefully we should be cool, though, this time. So let's make sure that there's no mistakes were made. Okay, we're not going to play the frog song yet. Alright, guys. So, there we go with the situation proper. Oh, man. Speaking of proper, I hope you guys check out Agent Proper and whatnot. The head chief of the DIA, or director actually, that would be his official title. The director of the DIA has a great channel. Please check it out. The link to his channel is in my description, as well as a bunch of other people. And that list is going to expand because there's a lot of great content creators out there, and I'd like to start getting them in there. So at least you guys have a bit of a directory. So as it pertains to starting back at ground zero for the Detractors, that's cute. Not reasonable, but cute nonetheless. That's very amusing. Very amusing film. As it pertains to the frog emote, that's just so sad. It's so sad. And then the egg meme, he's almost so misinformed. It almost hurts, to be perfectly honest with you. And for someone who's on kiwi farms as often as he is, it's really, really bad. I feel like you're only reading, Phil, if you're listening, I feel like you're only reading what you want to read, and you're ignoring everything else. And there's some really, really intelligent individuals up there. You have to read through all of it. It tells the entire story. You can't keep going through life just taking what little bits that are comfortable to you and kind of discarding the rest. It doesn't work that way. If you don't believe me, look at your previous years on YouTube. I mean, if you put in low effort, you'll end up reaping the results. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be here all weekend, so I'll be here all weekend, so there will be weekend broadcasts, which is cool because I haven't done a weekend broadcast in a while, so that'll be fun. I will also probably record some wing reports over the weekend too and see what's going on with that. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoy your Friday. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Like I said, I'll be here all weekend, so that'll be cool. If you guys are in Florida, please go to MegaCon, have a good time and whatnot. Don't buy me any shiny stuff. Don't buy me any nice stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just the people who know me have to do that. But for all you guys, have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. And so on and so forth. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And so on and so forth. And hopefully, we'll be part of your weekend. If not, you can catch up on all those videos over the... you can catch up on all those videos on Monday. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. This is the Snort Report, and I am your host, GTG. And this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on at GTG Network Productions. I am your host / anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves. End the broadcast. Let's see if we can go ahead and play that frog song one more time. Frog.
On my wrists is frogs, all my women is boss. With my wrist with the fog, and we getting it off. Now all my water be Voss. The father in the garage, I don't play with them balls. You can say what you want, but don't get